already know that law enforcement had to change its training back in 1999 with the response to the Columbine, or the lack of a response. So what we did was we had to change our response. But as these acts have evolved, what we figured out was we need to do better in getting to the victims that have been injured by this act of violence and trying to get them to medical attention as quickly as possible.
Victims laid in the floor for 3 to 4 hours. Fast forward to 2016, the Orlando nightclub shooting. Those fire departments and EMS and police officers have been training since 2013. 3 years later, they have an actual incident and it didn't go the way they wanted, and patients laid on the floor for 2 to 3 hours before they received care. So we've got to do better, and that's why we are employing the RTF, or the Rescue Task Force concept, is to try to get rescuers to you, the victim, or to you, the citizen, as quickly as we absolutely can to get you the care that you need. And that goes against everything we've been trained to do our entire career of stand by, wait, and then try to operate in that golden hour, where now we're going in while the incident is still hot or live and still ongoing, and we're trying to deliver this care and trying to get you to the hospital as fast as possible. We don't want an hour. If we could get you there in 5 minutes, we would.
For many years, there's been an increase in violence on campuses and universities throughout the United States. Unfortunately, sometimes these violent acts include weapons, guns, knives, incendiary devices. And as we've seen these increases throughout the last years, it's been important for us as campus safety professionals to prepare for an event that we hope never happens.
And if you've had somebody go through a couple of these buildings and they've been shooting people, my question to y'all is what now? The training that we're doing is for law enforcement agencies, fire departments, and emergency medical technicians, or EMS.
If you need them to stay put, tell them to stay put. You know, stay right here. When we get another room clear, we'll let you know.
Well, what you'll see is you'll see the fire departments going in with law enforcement. What we have is we have a force element, which is our law enforcement officers. What we're doing is we're protecting the asset, which is the fire department and EMS personnel. What we're doing is just giving them a safe place to work, trying to give them where we can get to them or get to the victims and press forward and get some protection in case something happens, and they can go ahead and render whatever immediate need there is to the victims.
Moving up!
This is not just a unoriented search, if you will, as the contact teams are entering into the building or entering into the area where the violence has occurred. They're radioing back and they're letting us know how many victims are seeing, where they're located. So we're trying to pinpoint down and deliver this trauma care as absolutely quickly and effectively as possible.
We all need to work together because everybody brings something unique to the situation that could be a big help. Everybody has equal parts. If you look at it, it's going to be like law enforcement's a third, fire's a third, and EMS is a third. Quite obviously, the needs of the incident are going to dictate the response, but everybody can contribute to the process. Everybody has an equal part in this, and everybody is as important as the other one. So all three agencies need to be able to work together so that we can do what's best for the victim. Spartanburg County is one of 2 areas in the state of South Carolina that's doing this training that I'm aware of. The other agency that I'm aware of is Charleston County.
You know, hopefully this will be a widespread state initiative. We recognize that even nationally that public safety is well behind the curve on this training, but it is, you know, it's grabbing claws and it's growing, and it's growing quickly. And that's nationwide and even in our state of South Carolina.
All law enforcement, EMS, and fire agencies need to know that we need to keep evolving. We need to keep up. We need to constantly reevaluate how we're doing things, and that's how this got started.
You at home, in a domestic setting, which is, you know, very possible to have an act of violence seen in. You out in the public, you know, through your day-to-day life, shopping, you know, whatever you're doing, you know, anything can happen. You know, grocery store, shopping mall. your place of business, where you work, that really represents the mass majority of where active violence incidents occur. The reason that schools are so prevalent is because the emotional tie to it, because it involves our children. And lastly, I would just say, know that we're coming. You know, we're training, we're trying to get it pushed out in Spartanburg County where I work, but across the state, and know that we're coming. You know, we're trying our best. It's new to us, but we're trying to get ahead of the curve.